So this is Rick Carter with Stock Island Times and CNF Worldwide, and we're here at the Florida Keys SPCA at their brand spanking new facility on College Road here on Stock Island. We're here with Tiffany Dunsmore, who's going to give us a tour today.
This is our lobby. This is obviously a drastic difference from what we had at the old shelter. Beautiful mural by Jane Harper. We've got a nice sitting space. All of our major donors are up here. A nice retail space that you can purchase goods and items, and just a great place to welcome our donors and our adopters and everybody that could possibly visit the Florida Keys SPCA.
Make sure they get all the credit they deserve.
Yes, they absolutely deserve it. It is going to be used for volunteer orientations. We could do behavior trainings. We could do bunny meet and greets. We can do all sorts of kind of things because we have an actual space to be able to do that. We'll eventually have our youth program will be in here where we'll be able to do like arts and crafts and all sorts of dog treats. We can hold meetings in here. It's just a really nice space to have with a beautiful mural by Sean Callahan that he donated to us. So it's just a really nice room to be able to do all sorts of things. This is our dog get acquainted room. So when somebody is looking to meet and greet the next love of their life, that's a dog. We bring them in here and then they can kind of get to know them. Our staff can talk to them about the dog. We have a beautiful picture from Alan Maltz that he donated of his dog Snoopy. And it's just a nice space where the dog can be calm and meet somebody. Before we had to take them out into the yards, it was hot. It was not as easy to kind of get a dog's personality. So this is a really great space. We can do that now.
So it's a place where both the animal and the potential new forever homeowner can be comfortable when they first meet each other.
Exactly. It's a nice, just home-looking environment. You can picture the dog in your own home.
Pan down the window here at these guys as we go.
So, yep, we have this room is all adoption, and this room is all adoption as well. So these are our adoption kennels. We have 5 rooms that in total are dogs. 3 rooms are dedicated to just adoption dogs. They have both sides of the kennel, as you can see, with a drop door down. So in the case, if we got a hoarding case or something really large, we can actually shut the doors and make it double the capacity that we used to have. However, for now we don't have that many, so they have full range of their entire
What is their capacity now?
I believe it is 87 dogs.
And at the old place it was?
A lot less than that. I don't know exactly the number, so very exciting. And these are some of our adoptable pups that are looking for homes right now.
Hey everybody, smile for the camera.
Trip is our 3-legged dog. Hey, baby boy. Hi.
Tell everybody about it. Yeah. Carmela, how are you?
Carmela's our senior girl. Jack's not here. He's our blind dog. We just have
What's that?
a variety of dogs to be taken home.
That's what the canine hold section is for.
So these are our dogs that aren't ready for adoption yet, or they might be going to other rescues. They might be going to breed-specific places. They might be getting medically evaluated. So right now, these dogs back here, they're not quite up for adoption yet, and they might be going somewhere else, but we do have plenty of room for them as well. So this is our canine laundry room. This is where we do all of the laundry. We have industrial washers. A nice clean area that we can, get all the animals' bedding cleaned and sanitized. This is our food prep room. This is a separate place that we have that we can maintain all the food. A lot of dogs have special diets, need special things, can't have certain treats. So this is a place that we can actually get that all organized and, for the dogs to keep them healthy. And then this is our grooming room. Typically we can have dogs that come in that have matted or bad fur. We can do minor grooming here ourselves, trimming nails, that kind of stuff. And it used to be that these 3 rooms was one sort of indoor-outdoor section at the old shelter that wasn't super great space to do all these items in, so now we have a nice space for all of them. So this is our canine isolation room. This is the 6th room that we have to put our dogs in. This is for if we have animals that come in that have a possibility to outbreak with some sort of disease that could affect the entire dog population. It's got its own air filtration system, so that it's not going to affect all the other animals. As well, it could be an animal that we maybe think could be dangerous, or needs time to calm down, and we can separate that dog from everybody else, keeps the stress low, as well as disease control. So that's what this room is for. Intake lobby, you saw our main lobby, which is the main entrance for everything. This is where if somebody has an animal to surrender, if they found an animal for end-of-life services, they would come through this separate door and then come to this side of the lobby, which is obviously a lot more private than the other. And our admin can come around the desk, come over here, assist them. That way they can go immediately into either temporary hold, or they can go right into the end-of-life services area. If somebody has their pet and they are, it's at the end of their life, we do offer end-of-life services. We have a bereavement room where the procedure is actually done, and then they actually have a really private way to exit, and it's not exposed to anybody else, which is really important for us.
So if somebody's just lost their pet they've had for 15 years and they're very upset, family member can pull a car right up to this door, they can walk out
and
and
they
be
just
off.
walk right out. And that's just a much more comforting way to say goodbye to your pet than at our old shelter, where literally you had one lobby, somebody would be in there doing that, as well as somebody would be adopting a new puppy, and it's a lot of emotion to have exposure to, whereas this way it's much more divided. So when we intake an animal in our intake lobby area, they would actually come right into this room first. So we have a bank, a small bank for cats or small animals, and we have an area for dogs. So this way the staff have a moment where they don't immediately have to come get an animal that's either being surrendered or found. We have a temporary place they can place them until the staff is available to come take them, give them their shots, do any evaluation they need before they go into the kennels. Doing this procedure really helps with disease control and helps make sure that every animal gets the attention they need before they get put into their kennels. This is our canine medical exam room. This is actually where we can bring a dog in from the temporary holding area, and they can get their initial shots. They can get behaviorally tested, medically tested for things. It's a nice open space. It's very clean, very sanitary. And we have a place to keep the vaccinations separate from everything else. Our dog behavior and training manager's office, she not only gives behavior counseling here, but she also helps to adopt out the animals, helps to place animals in the homes that, to make it a perfect match for the dogs.
So what sort of behavior training would you guys provide here?
So whether you've adopted from us or not, we offer behavior counseling. For instance, let's say you got a new puppy and it's chewing everything in the world, or if you've got two dogs that are fighting, or even, Kathy only does dogs, but if we had cats, we do the same thing with cats if two cats are fighting, or how to integrate certain species together. We do anything we can to basically help keep the animals in the home. So that's the main goal. We don't want animals to come in here because of a behavior issue. So whether you got it from us, or adopted from us, or got it from a breeder, or got it from another shelter, or however you got it, we will help you with behavior counseling. So sometimes we have animal control calls where we have cases where the animal control officers come back with lice on them, or dirty, or have to have gone out into a pond to rescue a dog, or into the mangroves. We actually have a staff restroom with a shower now, so that way they don't have to either sit in that or go all the way home. They can just literally come here, shower up, clean up, and move on with their day.
So I guess this has made, it seems like a simple thing, but it's made the operation a lot more efficient and a lot more hygienic.
Yeah, exactly. And this is our animal control officer's office actually right here. So if she's the one that has to, handle that, she's got her shower right next door, and it just makes it sanitary for everybody.
So talk about your animal control officer. What all types of calls would they go on? Because we got crocodiles and alligators and stuff here. Would your animal control officer get called for a croc?
That's FWC. However, though, she handles anything from lost dogs, cats, found dogs, found animals. She will go out and cruelty cases, do welfare checks, anything from iguanas we do handle, raccoons, that kind of thing, any small wildlife. But the FWC handle the big man-eating things. So we don't do those. We can bring in animal the idea is that the animal control vehicle can drive right in, close the door behind them, especially if there's weather, bring the animal in safely. We're on the staff side of the building, so they're not going to be seen by the public. We also keep, supplies that we need, those kinds of things. And it's just a really nice covered outdoor space where we can, keep things that we are.
So at your other old location, I mean, when an animal was brought in, you're just pulling the truck up out front and everything's totally exposed. You're right by College Road.
Which can also be super stressful for the animals.
Yeah.
This is a place, a way that they can de-stress and get them in safely, calmly, and not have to worry about, actually being exposed to other animals or people. They're fantastic. When you come off the elevator, you come immediately to here, which is our feline services area. We went from 2 main colony rooms with lanais to 6 colony rooms, 4 with lanais, 2 just regular colony rooms, a kitten room, and like a single cat only room. So we've really come leaps and bounds with how much room a cat is going to have here. So it's pretty amazing because cats really, really stress out with not a lot of territory. And so that was causing some health issues as well as just, stress among the cats. And now it's just a completely different world for them. So I'll show you some of those rooms. This is our one of our 4 free roaming plus lanai rooms. So as you can see, there's just a ton of space for these cats. It's not friendly. There's a ton of space, a ton of ways that they can have their own territory. They are obviously not stressed out like they were before, which our staff and volunteers did a really good job of helping to keep the stress levels low by socializing. We're part of Jackson Galaxy's positive classes, so we can help de-stress cats that way. We've taught cats how to high five. This one really likes you. And this is just another way that we can, help them even more by giving them more space. They have a little cat door right there, so they can go in and out at their own pleasure. This one loves the camera. It's like, hi, sweetie.
Nice.
Our free roam rooms that are not lanais, they're just the indoor room. So there's these 2 right here, and then as we go down, we have.
So everything to our left is a lanai room, and the interior
outside
rooms don't have.
Correct. Yep. So they have both, and then this last one we've actually used for our bunny free roam room because it is super important that our rabbits get exercise. It's nice for them to get outdoor air as well. And this is kind of a nice place that they can meet and greet, and we can make bonded pairs, which helps them stay social, and it helps them continue to keep their legs moving, which is important. There's not a schedule for them, but it really depends on the personalities of the cats. The cats are placed in specific rooms based on their behaviors. Certain cats don't get along with certain cats, just like humans. Certain cats do better with more space, certain cats probably do better with smaller space. And certain cats do better with certain age groups. So it really depends, but I know that they do rotate to figure out what cats can work best with other cats. So they probably do rotate into the lanai areas just to kind of give them a new feel and to keep them social.
How big of a staff do you have here? I mean, how many people does it take to manage all of the pet activities every day?
So we have a staff of 13, but 5 of those are like administrative or like myself doing volunteer and special events. So we have a staff of 8, I believe, that care for the animals.
Now we're at Kitten Alley.
Yeah, this is our kitten room. It is quite empty because for once, which honestly I feel like I can say this the first time this year, we actually don't have any kittens under the age of 4 months. Kitten season will be coming up in March, and then we will have an explosion of kittens again, but for the moment we actually don't have any. And these rooms are set up just like the single cat room, where they can kind of grow into being a cat without having maybe other cats bully them, or they can just kind of, you know, explore on their own, but keeping them safe kind of in their own spaces.
So kitten season is that predictable.
Oh,
Set your watch by it. March
yeah.
is kitten season.
March is, for us it is, in the northern states it's May because of the heat, but we'll be looking for kitten fosters come March if you're interested. So this is our, basically like our single cat room. This is where we have cats that maybe either don't get along with other cats, aren't great at defending themselves against other cats. So it's somewhere where they really needed their own space. And this is somewhere we can give it to them. For instance, this is Saucy. She is really looking for a home. She is a sweet, sweet girl, but when she was in the adoption kennels, she wasn't being allowed to get to food, water, litter pans, so she was kind of just staying up high on the shelf, and so we kind of give her own space. And so Saucy actually has the cage she's in, this one right here, this one, and this one. So this is all her space.
So you've got pass-throughs up there between the cages that you can open up.
We could open up the entire thing, or we could do 2, 1, but so each of these cats have 4. So we've got 4 down here. We've got Skeeter's got these 4, and this Mariah's got this 4. So, and it's a matter of working with them. Most of these cats came from being only in single cat areas at the other shelter, but I know we're working hard to integrate them back into the adoption rooms and to be with other cats. Some cats that's really, really difficult. It seems like our cat staff has really been working with them hard, and they might actually all be able to get eventually into the adoption rooms. This is our cat get acquainted room, and this is where if you're interested in meeting a cat maybe one-on-one, we would bring them in here, and then you could meet them as if they were in a home setting, just like we did downstairs with the dogs. So it's a really nice separate space that you can kind of get to know your cat by itself. This is our adoption side laundry and food prep room for the cats. With cats, it's really important that we keep laundry separate, if at all possible, from adoption side and stray side and our clinic area, just because the quickest way to spread diseases is through vomit and through, you know, other
pleasant stuff like that.
Other stuff, we'll leave it at that. And this is a way we can really help keep it sanitary, because we know the cats up here are happy and healthy. The ones in the stray area may be still going under evaluation, so it's important we try and separate that kind of stuff. So this is our stray side for our cats, just like on our dog side. We've got all the same rooms. We've got a stray side feline food prep room, so all the food is separated for just our cats that aren't up for adoption yet. They could be going through medical and behavior treatment. They could be in our faith program. They could be on quarantine. So it just depends on why they're back here, not exactly up for adoption yet. These are our kennels where we keep all of our stray cats. This is our laundry room for just our stray cats. Again, for disease control purposes, we like to have a separate room for just the cats that maybe we don't know everything about yet. This is our isolation room where we're keeping the cats that are maybe still going through some medical treatment. They could have upper respiratory or something that is contagious, so the air filtration system's different. We want to make sure we keep that completely separate from the other cats. We don't want to get anybody sick. And then we have our feline exam room, which again is similar to the dog exam room. We don't need as big of a space for cats, but it's somewhere they can get medically and behaviorally tested, and they can come into here and do that. And then behind you is the elevator on the staff side, so if we do get an animal brought in to our intake area, the staff can actually bring the cat straight up, and it comes right here, never goes into the public, never actually sees another person or another animal, and it's a nice, safe way to transport them.
So you guys have taken great measures to like isolate areas, both for animal welfare, emotional situations with human beings, to manage infections and disease. Stress
is a big factor that we want to manage as well, because this is a whole new environment. This isn't like somebody's home, you know, even though we try to make areas as homey as possible, but we really want to take the stress away from this new environment for the animals, because that is what ultimately will help them continue to get adopted. All right, so this is our small animal room. This is essentially where the bunnies homes are. And then as we just showed you, we have an exercise room for them as well, so they get to go out, exercise, but then they also have their own space in here.
So is this a daily process? Like they're all in here at night, and then each day you take them out for a period of time?
And they kind of rotate out depending on their pairs and those kinds of things. So this is kind of like their home situation. So they do have, you know, their own litter box, water, food, all that kind of stuff in their crate areas, and then they'll rotate out every day throughout the day and get their outside time. So this is also where we will, once we get our numbers down for our rabbits, as far as adoptions, we'll probably put our gerbils and hamsters back in here. But for now, they're in our exotics room because we just have so many. So this is our exotics room. Normally this is going to be a place where we have like snakes, birds, we've had bearded dragons, anything of that kind of nature. However, right now we don't have any, so we've used the space for the rest of our small animals, our gerbils, our hamsters, if we got guinea pigs in. And it is also where Max gets his human time. Max is our rooster right here. Max was raised as an egg by humans, and so he really doesn't understand how to be a wild rooster. He loves pets and hugs and treats, and
don't you dare.
He knows Wilma really well.
Don't you dare.
He wants to jump up and eat the worms right out of the bucket.
So Max is not prepared to live on the mean streets of Key West with all the other roosters.
So Max would need, if he were adopted, he would need an indoor only home. He can go outside, but he needs to be treated just like a dog. Like you bring him out with you, you bring him in with you, kind of thing. He really doesn't know how to defend himself in the rooster or wild world. Obviously he likes the rabbits. He can be a little tough bird when it comes to dogs, but he did live with a dog before, so he's very acclimated to humans, loves being around people. So Wilma, when she comes in and helps with the rabbits and small animals, she brings him up and he gets his nice social time. So this is donated by the Lucky Street Gallery, Sandra and Lee McManus, who are huge supporters of our shelter. It's the Bartimus Bench, and it was made by Cindy Wynn, who does other art in the local area. And they wanted it for the clinic waiting room, and it's funny enough, got little pup marks. You can just sit down and that's right in there.
And I believe Cindy's a local Stock Island artist here.
I believe so, yeah. I'm not as familiar with her work, I'm sorry to say, but I know she is a local artist, and so it's a very cool place to have a waiting bench area.
Well, thanks to the McManuses, thanks to Cindy.
This is our clinic. This was made possible by quite a few very important people to our shelter. The Dogwood Foundation, though, was a huge part in making this a possibility, along with Georgia and Tom Favelli, who provided the funding for all the equipment. Now, it's still being kind of not put together, but we're still trying to get it set up, I guess is the best way to do it, so it doesn't look like it's going to look very soon, but we are going to be able to hire our own veterinarian. We're going to be able to do our own low-cost spay neutering like we were doing before, but however, we're also going to be able to add smaller details on, or smaller procedures and those kinds of things that we'll be able to do.
So when fully functional, you'll have your own full-time veterinarian on site.
Exactly, it's going to be amazing. So this would be the clinic administration desk. If somebody was coming in, checking in, they would come here. Ideally, we'll staff this with a volunteer, maybe a staff member, and they'll check in right here. Then they would come into our exam room, which is right here. And so they'd walk in here, the doctor would come in, they'd examine the animal, and they would, determine what treatments need to be done. I'm not exactly sure, to be honest, the list of what we'll be able to do, but it'll be more than just spay and neuter, which is really ideal.
So will you be offering veterinary services to the public at large, that I could bring my dog in here to have him checked out, that kind of thing?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So this is the exam room. This is our prep room. So we walk in here, and so again, like I said, we're still setting it up. But this is where you could do some procedures. We have the table there, all the equipment necessary. Each of these rooms have a separate oxygen area, so it's ventilated differently than the rest of the shelter. We have plenty of, it's like its own hospital almost. And then when you come in here, this is the surgery suite. So this is where you would actually be able to do the spay neuter surgeries, possibly some smaller end surgeries as well. So it's a really nice, clean place to be able to do this. Before, if you hadn't seen it, we were working out of a trailer that was probably half the size of this room, maybe a little bigger. So it's pretty exciting that we can offer these services now to the public once we hire a vet and get it all set up.
So is an ER suite of this caliber, is this typical for most SPCA sites in the country?
No,
or would
no.
this be like state of the art?
I've seen these kinds of places at other shelters, but you really have to have that built in the plan when you're building a shelter, and not everyone probably does this. But we do it because we want to be able to provide this service to the community. We want to be able to provide the service for our own animals, and it's just a really important aspect of our mission is for spay and neuter, and obviously serving the community with a clinic. And so it's really amazing that we actually finally have it. So you can go on our website, fkspca.org. We have a whole list of funds or ways that you can donate on there, which includes buying a brick, which you can leave your legacy with us. It'll be a permanent fixture downstairs outside, or you can name a space like our Dogwood Clinic, and you can have your sign up here for the rest of the FK SPCA's future. You can also stop in. We can tell you how to do all these things. So any way you want to donate financially, that's great. We have an Amazon wish list if you want to donate items to our animals. So that is a great way that we keep it updated constantly with the needs that we have. Or you can give us a call at 294-4857 and just ask us what our needs are. Or feel free to email us at info@fkspca.org. So depending on your age range, depends on what we would have you doing for volunteering and when you would volunteer. We have orientations coming up March 5th, 6th, and 7th for 18 and up volunteers. Those times can actually be found on our website at fkspca.org under the volunteer tab, or you can call us at 294-4857, or you can email me personally because I'm the volunteer coordinator, Tiffany@fkspca.org, if you have any questions.
How do you spell Tiffany?
Tiffany. Sorry, it's the traditional way.
Gotcha.
If you are a teen, so you are 16 to 18 and still in high school, looking for community service credit for National Honor Society or another for college, we have orientations coming up. I am sorry to say first week of April. I just can't remember the exact dates. I'm really sorry. But you go to fkspca.org to look at those dates, or give me a call. As well as we have our kids club coming up. That's going to be for kids ages 10 to 15. If you want to be a part of our kids club, those are going to be structured classes where we build toys and treats and give them to the animals, do reading with the animals, those kinds of things. And those orientation dates are going to be in mid-April. So check out our dates online, stop into the shelter, give me a call, and we can get you volunteering.
One more time, your website is?
fkspca.org.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you.